building on the theme of clean power that I discussed in my last video, what does it actually take to trust your own power? To actually develop it and be able to bring it into the world and know that it's clean. So to do this, I'd like you to engage in a little thought experiment with me. Say you woke up tomorrow morning and you had a power, a special ability that could bring you great power in the world. Let's just say you could read people's minds. You woke up tomorrow morning and you went out there and chatted with your partner or your children, and suddenly you realized you could understand what they were thinking. You could read their minds. That's a power that could bring you great influence, money, wealth, everything you could actually ever ask for. You could probably attain by having that special ability. Now, take that little thought experiment through. Imagine you actually do have that, and you wake up and you start to realize the potential of this. Where would you take it? What would you do with that ability? Now be deeply honest with yourself. Don't think, oh, I'd save world hunger and fix this, and be really, really honest. How would you use that? And probably, if you're like me, you start to think of all those people that might have wronged you. All those instances and people you haven't forgiven, and how you might be able to get back at them. This is normal. Admit it. It's absolutely fine. We all have these parts inside of ourselves that are younger parts that don't feel resolved. And if we suddenly got a power, they would want to use it for their own good. That's why people get so freaked out when they start getting a taste for power. So what is it for you? This is a really interesting thought experiment to find out where your own shadows lie. What were you thinking? How would you use it? Would you use it to get ultimate money and influence and get back on all those people that said you couldn't do it, you were no one? Would you use it to get as much sex as you want and become the next crazy sex cult leader? Like, how would you use it? There's nothing wrong in that. We shy away from these kind of thoughts because we're afraid that we have these parts inside of ourselves. But for me, if I ask that question to someone and they could actually tell me an answer quite quickly, I actually trust them more. Because they're in contact with those shadow parts. They're in contact with the parts of themselves that would use that power for revenge or ultimate domination over others. Those parts are known to them. They're not trying to repress them and keep them away. They're actually in their consciousness and they're aware that this part could take over at any moment if it suddenly got the opportunity. So that's the work. That really is the work. If you want to develop more power as a leader, you've got to clean up your power. And cleaning up your power means getting in contact with those shadow parts of you that would use it for evil, would use it for completely narcissistic reasons. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. That is the first step to integrating these parts. And a lot of the time, they actually have a good purpose, these parts. They're wanting something good for you. So the more and more you can get in contact with them, you bring them into the fold almost, so they're not pushed off and shadow elements, the more you can actually use them consciously. And that integrates the power. Then you feel more like an integrated leader, an integrated human being, who has all of these parts online and in control, who wouldn't go off in their own little world domination agenda. And that's really what it takes, and that is not easy work. But if you want to be a powerful leader who is clean and does the right thing, then for me, that's the work you have to do.